Alright there, YouTube. So we're back with Old Red, our Project 1983 Peterbilt 359. I think today we're going to start off with putting some new batteries in the truck here. Been getting rather hard to start here in the mornings. Fairly warm out here today, about 32 degrees or 0 degrees Celsius, so I'm hoping it'll start up today and we can take it inside, pull the batteries out, change them. And got quite a few other things I can do here today. We're just kind of going to go with the flow here today and see what all I can get done and go from there. So first things first, get this thing fired up, moved inside here, and hopefully it starts without getting the jumper cables out, because that gets to be kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. So we're trying to get her started up here and go from there. Nope. Guess we're just going to change the batteries out outside. Not too cold here today anyway. We got 4 wires running in the truck. We got positive, negative, positive, negative. What's the story with that? So yeah, there's just 2 sets of battery cables that run to the exact same location. That's kind of unusual, but there should really be nothing wrong with that, so whatever. So we got our 4 new batteries here. Seems the parts store guys never cease to amaze me. Go down there, pull up one of the old batteries on the counter, tell them I need 4 batteries like this. Starts asking me what the application is, and I tell him a commercial truck. He goes, okay, what make? Like, it doesn't matter. He goes, well, I need to know. So I tell him Peterbilt. And he goes, model number 359. I was like, and then I told him again, it doesn't matter. I just need a Group 31 battery like the one that I've got here. Need 4 of them. Okay, what engine? Ah, whatever. So I tell him, okay, yep, we got 4 of them. I can bring them out here for you. It'll be $540 or whatever it was. And I was like, well, I got my other cords with me, so he takes those off. Okay, it'll be $504, whatever it was there. And so he brings them out, and they're the wrong ones. They had the regular post rather than the screw post. It's like I told you, I need them like this one, like the one that's on the counter. Oh, okay, so then he goes and gets the right ones, and it's like, it's not that hard. I plopped one down on the counter. I said I need 4 batteries like this. Give me 4 batteries like that. It doesn't matter what the hell the computer says. But anyway, No, I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, but all these batteries go in parallel, they do not go in series. In the United States, trucks are 12 volts. You only see 24 volts on heavy equipment like bulldozers and stuff like that. You don't really see 24 volts on trucks. It's all 12 volt. I know in other parts of the country or in the world, 24 volts is actually pretty common on trucks, Europe and stuff like that. But here in America, all trucks are 12 volt. And the only stuff that's 24 volts is stuff like bulldozers and heavy equipment like that. So make sure that you wire all these in parallel, not in series, because when you wire in series, you increase the voltage. When you wire in parallel, you're increasing the amperage. So really 24 volts is probably the better system, like they do in Europe and stuff, because due to Ohm's law, whenever you increase the voltage, you decrease the amperage. So you're turning more volts at less amps, which is in DC a lot better than the other way around. But if you were to convert this to 24 volts, then you'd need a 24 volt alternator and so on and so forth. So that should work. Alright. Alright, new batteries are in. Go ahead and try to start her up again. Alright, so we got the truck brought inside here. I've got my Fender Clearance lights measured out, clamped in place. We're going to go ahead and drill them in. Okay, now I don't have a hole saw that exactly matches these holes here. I got one that's ever so slightly bigger, one that's ever so slightly smaller. So I suppose we're going to go with the smaller one, and if we have to, I can come back and grind it out a little bit. It'll be opened up just a little bit. There we go. Now do the other side. Okay, now that side's done. Now I think this looks kind of goofy. They've got these lights in here, and then with the stainless panel here with the lights in it, I think that looks goofy. There was 3 of them along the bottom on the body. I'd kind of like to get rid of these. However, when you take them out, obviously there's a big hole drilled. You know, these small ones, you could fill that with a little bit of putty and it'd be all right. But this big one, we got to do something with that if we're going to get rid of those. So I think I'm going to try to punch a slug out of a piece of aluminum with the hole saw and see if we can weld a plug in there and see how that goes. Hopefully that'll go okay. Alright, so I think I've pretty much got the... Ooh, that's hot. Pretty much got this plug ready to weld in here. Vice grips. And anyway, we're going to get set up to weld this here, and hopefully it goes okay. Alright, ain't perfect, but nothing the little body filler won't. That should work out alright. Alright, well that's done-ish for now. I don't want to do the actual body work on this truck until I'm actually ready to paint it, which probably won't be till sometime in January by the time I can set aside enough time to actually do this job start to finish. So I should have known better than to take on this little project today, but got the slugs welded in, put just a little skim coat of some filler on there for right now so I can live with myself. I'm not sure how that looks on the camera, but it's flat. A little bump in there. We'll get her finished up later. I might just spray can a little primer on those spots just for right now. Alright, so there we go. I think I can live with that for right now. So I want to try to grab a few frequently asked questions on this project before we wrap this video up for today. And one of the most frequently asked questions is, what do you plan on doing with the truck when it's done? Well, I plan to actually make this a working truck. Carry commercial freight with it. I have a trucking business, that's what I do. I don't make my money making YouTube videos or working on trucks. My income is trucking, that's how I pay my bills. And when this truck's done, I plan to actually use it. Now another frequently asked question is, are you planning on doing any mechanical work on this truck or just paint it and make it look nice? Yes, there's going to be a lot of mechanical work to do on this truck. It does run and drive, but it needs work. We're going to put a transmission in it. The transmission's actually a decent transmission, but the rear main seal's leaking. If the rear main seal's leaking, that means the transmission's got to go out. This is an older generation 13 speed in this. It's like a 4 or 5 series. So I'm going to put a 7 series 18 speed in it. I've already got the transmission for that. This truck's got a Big Cam 400 Cummins in it. It runs good. I'm not too worried about the engine, but I'll probably do a bearing roll on it. Just put new rods and mains in it. And then when we get it on the road, get it working, see if it burns any oil, and I don't plan to in-frame it unless I absolutely need to. All the way back to the first video I did of actually working on this truck, we pulled the fifth wheel off, and the frame is quite thin underneath where the fifth wheel is mounted. The rest of the frame is really absolutely in nice shape on this truck, so it's really a shame that so much of this material has been eaten away by rust just underneath the fifth wheel. The rest of it's really quite nice. There's no rust jacking under any of the brackets. Even here on the fuel tanks where you got an aluminum bracket against the steel tank, this all looks beautiful. The two rearmost cross members could use a little bit of attention. Rear suspension needs bushings. Airbags actually look okay, but probably replace them anyway. New shocks. You got some messed up brackets in here. All the air lines need to be replaced. So, more than likely, what I really want to do with this, cut the frame off somewhere right about in here. Get a whole rear end cutoff from a later model truck, and we'll end up stretching the frame on it. I've got this tape measure laid out here right now, and you can see this is roughly a 244-inch wheelbase. I haul a lot of overweight loads, and I'd like to add a steerable pusher axle on this truck. And there is not enough room between this front drive axle and these fuel tanks to be able to mount steerable pusher axle in here. So, if we have them cut the junkyard cutoff long, when we splice them together, we can gain about, if we gain about 3 feet, if we stretch this truck out to about 270, that'll give me plenty of room to do that. Now that's really what I'd like to do. However, that's not going to be cheap. Having a little bit of trouble finding a rear end cutoff that'll work for me. I'd really like to stick with the 370 gears in it. I might be willing to do 355s, but you know, we'll see. I haven't looked really hard for a rear end cutoff yet. I haven't really had the time to look for one. But hopefully we can come up with a good deal on one from a later model truck and stretch the frame, weld that on there. Then we'll have updated rear ends. We'll be to hub pilot wheels. You know, we're accomplish a lot of things in one task rather than having a lot of little projects. Another thing I get asked about a lot is the air cleaners. This truck's only got one air cleaner. See, when you look over on this side, there's no air cleaner on this side. People ask me, do you plan on adding a second air cleaner? And the answer is, well, if I can find a good deal on all the miscellaneous parts that I need to be able to do that, sure. Otherwise, I'm actually okay with the single air cleaner on this truck. 359s, a lot of them didn't have dual air cleaners. It's a lot more common to see dual air cleaners on a 379 than it is a 359. In fact, a lot of them had a lube refiner filter that was mounted where the driver's side air cleaner would be, so you couldn't even put a driver's side air cleaner on it if you wanted to. So I'm actually okay with only having a single air cleaner on it. There is quite a few parts involved in adding a second air cleaner. There's a kind of hood reinforcement piece that goes behind this hood skin. The hood skin would have to be cut or get a new hood skin. You also have this filler panel here that you would need. You need this piece here that the air ducting connects into. You need this piece. You need the air cleaner itself. You need the brackets. You need the straps. And you need a matching top hat for it. And I might even be forgetting a couple things. Oh, and the ducting inside to actually hook them together. So, if any of you guys have all those parts and you want to make me a decent deal on everything that I need to be able to do that, be sure to get a hold of me. Either leave me a comment, go over to my Facebook page. It's under the same name as the YouTube channel, and you can send me a direct message there. And you can get a hold of me, and if you want to make me a decent deal on all those parts to be able to add a driver's side air cleaner, I would do that. Otherwise, I mean, we'll see if I come across something to be able to get that done, I'll do it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you. Have a good day.